you're looking for pictures of your favorite driver or any more information, there are all kinds of great stories on www.rivergladespeedway.ca. It's your source to keep up to date on what's happening here at the Oval in 2004. Up-to-date point standings as well as race results. Also, pictures of your favorite driver. And let me tell you, folks, there are a ton of photos on the website. As mentioned, it's up to date weekly, so if you haven't had an opportunity to check it out so far, it's only one click away, www.rivergladespeedway.ca. That is the 100-lap Enduro. But first we'll have a parade lap, give you an opportunity to see some of the cars that will actually be in the demolition derby. There's still 2 or 3 that are being actually prepared, shall we say, or actually destructed, I guess would be the preparation that's required for a demolition derby, the glass being taken out of them and that sort of thing. But for the most part, you'll get a chance to see a lot of these cars that'll be in the demolition derby. The folks from the St. John Ambulance are here volunteering their time. We certainly appreciate them here week in and week out. It's the one and only time I like to see them here at the Speedway is when they come out on the parade lap. However, we do appreciate their services here week in and week out, as do we appreciate the folks from the Clark's Towing. He's been a very busy boy in 2004. We've had a lot of altercations, particularly in the sportsman division, and the gentleman from Clark's has been right on top of everything. If you're looking for, if you're into any type of trouble and you need a tow truck, great person to call at Clark's. The first guy you see, I believe it's a Cadillac. The 911 machine is Brian Chappell. The number 22 is Rob Fitzsimmons. The number 1, he's going to help with mosquito control here this afternoon, and he's also going to try to go up against some of these much larger cars. That's Mike Wiggle in that Honda Accord. The number 23 machine is actually the Duck Band, Tom Lane. You might remember him from competition a few years ago in the Sunday Warriors and Sunday Drivers division. Well, he's got himself a Wreckham car here this afternoon and will be in competition. Not sure who the driver of the number 2 machine is at this point. We will do our best to actually get an update on that driver before too long. So as mentioned, this is strictly luck of the draw, the way they're going to line up for the start of this event. And 100 laps is a long way to go in one of these machines, particularly, I think, for the number 86. As you'll notice, or from my standing point, I can notice that there's already some fluid running out of the front of that machine. So that could get very warm before it actually makes it around here for 100 laps. However, stranger things have happened. On the point for this one's going to be the number 8, back in competition. You'll remember him from the Sunday Drivers, Sunday Warriors, Street Stock division. He's been around here forever. That's Eugene Wiggle in the 8. The 89, your points leader in the next generation, and probably one of the favorites to win this event, particularly with the starting position that he drew. That's Mike Edwards in the 89. The 5 is Robbie Prosser. The 86 is actually being piloted by Brian Chappell. However, he is actually, you can see him kind of running along the wall there, making his way over to the Speedway, a late arrival. The 13 is Les Turnbull. The 30 is Brenda Francis. The 22, first time out in competition for Shane Henry in the Ford Probe. The 91 is Denny Gadet. 69X is Josh Tingley. The 35 is Les Lafergie. The 88 is Colby Wambold, another strong competitor in the next generation division here in 2004. The 86 is Gary Chappell. The 26 is Jesse Rogers. The 10 is April Berry. And way back in the caboose, the 3 is Sean Lewis.
Get her going, yeah.
Actually, Sean, I don't believe, had the luxury of the draw because he arrived quite late to the Speedway here this afternoon, so he will be starting rear on the field. The young fella here who actually got a little more familiar with a bee, so we're told. He didn't exactly make friends with it, judging by the swelling on the ear, but thanks to the folks from the St. John Ambulance for helping us out. And hopefully the young fellow will be able to go back and enjoy the action here this evening. Keep in mind, still time to get those 50-50, even though the races are going. The boys from the Lions Club will be down at the start-finish line, so stop by. So currently we have, folks, if you want to dig out your 50-50 tickets, we'll do the draw in just a couple of moments. Just to recap your top three. The 35, Les Lafergie is your race leader. The 3 is Sean Lewis, who looks extremely warm at the moment, is actually in second. Colby Williambold in the 88 is your third place car. All other competitors on the Speedway are at least 1 lap down. Some are actually 2 laps down. So for $228.50, if you yellow ticket 418896, if you've got that ticket, come on over to the tower. We do believe it was sold over in the garage area prior to the races. Green flag back on the Speedway. Les Lafergie continues to be the race leader down the backstretch. because obviously Sean's not going to be able to continue. The only car on the lead lap. So Wambo, the only car remaining on the lead lap, is Sean Lewis was running in the second spot. He too on the lead lap. But for about the last 20 laps, that right rear tire gradually leading more and more and more until it finally decided it had to disappear. Bigger than they were a few laps ago coming out of that corner when so the 88 Colby Wambo, your race leader. So we can have all the youngsters make their way down to the play area. Shelly's got a box full of goodies she's going to be tossing out there. We keep the racing on the Speedway and not in the grandstands.
Okay.
But if you want to make your way down to the play area, she's got a box full of goodies there. She'll be tossing out momentarily.
Door up, try again.
Glad you ain't now. Got a first place trophy for this pass. You want to get a first? Correct. Okay, we'll go send the top three around, let him chat with him, and that'll kill some time anyway. Okay.
So 9 laps complete for Colby Wambo. At this point, he can pretty much just as he is the only car on the lead lap. Battle for that second spot between the 5 of Rodney Flosser and the 89 Mike Edwards. Now this one's starting to play. as he pulls into victory lane with his first Enduro win of the season. Let's have a warm round of applause for the 88 Colby Whamble. So unofficially, the 89 of Mike Edwards comes home in the second spot, and the 5 of Robbie Prosser actually is our third place car. We'll try to get a few comments with these guys once they get climbed out, even though it's in the evening and they're looking fairly warm. Robbie Prosser actually just bought this car from Kerry Anderson a couple of weeks ago, ran pretty strong his first time out here last week, and ran a pretty solid race here this evening as well, stayed out of trouble. He came home with a third place finish. How you liking this whole 4-cylinder front-wheel drive race?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Just picked up the car, still trying it out. Lots of fun, try to stay out of trouble.
So let me ask you something. These 100-lap races, or sometimes we have the 200-lap races, do you have any idea where you actually are in position when you're out on the speedway, or is it just kind of keep going fast, turn left or right, depending on what direction you're going? What's your approach to these endurance races?
Well, just drive around, stay out of trouble, the tires on it, it's the main thing. And as long as you're running at the end of the day, it'll be a good day.
And speaking of running, this is probably the quietest car I've ever heard on the speedway. Let's hear it for your third place finisher, Robbie Prosser. Over in the second spot, this guy, I don't think you had a whole lot of fun going the backwards 50, did you?
I think I broke a transmission mount about 10 laps in, going backwards.
So did you know you were down a couple of laps going into that second 50, and what was the goal if you were?
I knew I was down 2 laps, and I was hoping to make it up, but Kobe beat me to her.
But you own that car, correct?
Yeah, I own it. Kobe drives it.
So the prize money, the $500 up for grab, Colby can probably pretty much kiss that goodbye, right?
Pretty much.
So Colby, I hear you won a nice trophy, buddy. Let's hear it one more time for your race winner, Colby Whamble, Indy 88. So you're going to hit him up for a raise in pay now, though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I asked this question to both these guys, but you really have no idea what position you're in when you're out there on the speedway, do you?
You have no idea.
Did you know that Sean Lewis was close with you for most of the race?
Yeah, I followed Sean for quite a while.
He was actually a race leader. You two were the only 2 cars on the lead lap. And then, of course, when he had his misfortune with about 9 laps left, it left you being the only car on the lead lap. So congratulations to the race winner, Colby Whamble. Robin Hibbs come down to the start-finish line. Her favorite driver is Mike Edwards in the 89, and she can get a trip around the track with Mr. Edwards.
Robin Hibbs?
So is Robin Hibbs actually here? Why don't you come with me? So let's hear it for our junior fan, folks, Robin Hibbs. Can you hold this for a sec?
Get to go for another drive.
So Robin, are you going to be allowed to drive, do you think?
We'll let her.
Yes.
Are you a good driver?
Yes.
Would you have beaten Colby?
Yes.
Have fun.
This is a backup. Over direction.
So not a bad way to start off his afternoon, and you'll see him momentarily in either the backup or bump to pass race. So the condition of entering in the Demolition Derby is you have to compete in one of 2 events. Compete in both if you wish, but a number of drivers will elect to go in one and not the other, or vice versa. So up first we'll have the backup race. Going to be 5 laps in reverse on the Speedway. And I mentioned it's kind of a David and Goliath thing in the Demolition Derby, but if I'm driving a little Honda Accord, I'm thinking that's quite a bit easier to back up around this quarter-mile oval. So Mike Wiggle and Brian Chappell, as well as Sean Lewis, all former oval competitors here, accustomed to going the right direction on the Speedway. We'll have to see how they fare in this 5-lap backup race. Green flag has been dropped. Mike Wiggle out to the early lead in that Honda Accord. Brian Chappell trying to maneuver that Cadillac, I do believe. Chappell just humming down the backstretch. Trying to pass Wiggle for that race lead. Chappell, I do believe, is setting quicker lap times in that Cadillac in reverse than he was in the Enduro. New race leader in Brian Chappell in the 911 machine. A little bit of a push coming out of the corner, but he keeps her chugging along. Still keeping her rolling in that 911 machine. Mike Wiggle almost running out of RPMs in that machine. One machine of Mike Wiggle actually off the pace, if you can believe that. Chappell's still going strong in that big boat. He'd like to be as successful in the Demolition Derby a little bit later on as he is here in this backup race. Here comes your race winner in Brian Chappell. He doesn't even know it's done. He's having so much fun. Never even touched either of those two cars he made his way around. And I think if I was Brian, I would be running pretty much this way all the time. So a fine display of driving by Mr. Chappell. That is a lot more difficult than it looks, folks, especially when you're driving Noah's Ark. So let's hear it for your race winner as he pulls into victory lane, the 911 of Brian Chappell. Pick up some hardware as well as a $100 cash prize for the backup race. Like I say, that car is going to be tough to beat in the Demolition Derby.
Oh.
So, Mr. Chappell elects not to take a victory lap. He wants to save that machine. I'm told it's quite warm. So, Chappell maybe going to come around and give a push to Mr. Wiggle after he helps out with some landscaping here. So he wins the race and he pushes one of the competitors to the garage area. We'll get set up next with the bump to pass race. And folks, this is pretty straightforward. In order to pass the car in front of you, you've actually got to run into them. Something new for a lot of drivers. Maybe some of the other drivers would say that it's nothing new. Whatever the case, it ought to be exciting. Back to their seats. So, congratulations to both of them. duct to be, I'm guessing, is on the roof. The 2 is going to be Sean Lewis once again. And I'm going to say that black car because I don't see a number, so we'll go with black.
Okay, Kim. Every demolition car has been on the track for an event, is that correct?
Is either Troy Duffy or Barry Allen. So between the black, oh, Barry Allen is actually in the white. I got a thumbs up, so thanks for clearing that up. So park's not working on the 6 and neither are the brakes. That explains why we've got the issue with him coming to a complete stop. Perfect spot to bring a car with no brakes is to the demolition derby. Because I'm thinking he'll probably come to a stop at some point in that event. So the chances of this event actually starting from a dead stop are pretty slim. I'm guessing it's going to be a roll and start. So actually, this is actually going to be pretty interesting, folks. We want to start the race from a dead stop, but the 6 can't stop. So Ken Brace is going to do the best he can to time it as the 6 comes around here and drop the green flag. Yeah, I'm guessing if he come up here, threw the car in reverse and ran into that Cadillac, that would probably slow him down. So he's got no reverse, no park, and no brakes, so we're just told. A new update. I can't imagine why it didn't pass safety inspection, really. Green flag has been dropped, and the 6 managed to find a gear, not sure what one. We know it's not park reverse. Out in front, the 22 of Rob Fitzsimmons, the 2 of Sean Lewis there in the 2nd spot. And Tom Lane making his way to the rear of the field. The 24 actually ran into the side of that 23 up into that position. The 23 of Barry Allen may not have any choice in hitting something because he can't really see at this point. Up at the front though, it's still Rob Fitzsimmons and that number 22, your race leader, but Sean Lewis in the 2 starting to close in. Starting to close in that number 2 on the 22. The 22 of Rob Fitzsimmons, now the 2 of Sean Lewis off the pace. So that number 6 of John Smith, we don't know who is actually driving it, but he's going to try to get back around the 24. Bit of contact. Race winner, the 22, Rob Fitzsimmons. So the tough break for the number 25 of Barry Allen. the hood went up, and then I'm not sure what happened after that, but he came to a stop over on the backstretch. So in any event, oh, he still got her fired up. So there are some gorgeous looking cars in this demolition derby, I must say.
Everything went perfect today. Just tires, exhaust, everything.
So let's hear it for your race winner in the Lutz Mountain Dream Machine, the number 22, Rob Fitzsimmons. So in just a couple of moments, we'll get all the competitors back out here for the last hurrah, so to speak. This is the event we've all kind of been waiting for. We strongly encourage everyone to remain in their seats during this event. Please do not go up along the white roped off area, as there could be a lot of action right down here at the start-finish line. So we certainly encourage everybody to please stay in their seats during that event as Rob Fitzsimmons heads out on his victory lap. Sounds like he brought a pretty good sized Turin section with him.
Over down the other end with Matt.
So hopefully our good buddy John Smith or Ray Steves in that number 6 put lots of gas in that Caprice Classic, or that station wagon. I'm not sure, it looks like a Caprice. $1,000 on the line for this event. Very straightforward. The last car moving is going to be your winner. So again, a couple of driver changes over in the garage area. So it looks like CPD Repairs Limited, the sponsors on that automobile for Mr. Fitzsimmons. He'll head
Number 1, that'd be you.
back to the garage area momentarily. Strangers to demolition derbies or Glade Speedway in this event, and Mike Wiggle in the number 1 and the 911 of Brian Chappell. Both have been in several demolition derbies. Actually, Sean Lewis as well picked up a win here last year, and just to show that you don't necessarily have to have the biggest car, he did it in a 4-door Cavalier. He picked up the win in their demolition derby. So some of these big Cadillacs may look intimidating, but anything can happen once it gets started. Basically, the only rule these guys have to follow is you cannot hit in the driver's door. So you cannot back up into the driver's door for obvious reasons. Other than that, it's pretty much fair game. You can run into somebody frontwards, you can run into somebody backwards, unless of course you're the number 6 who's got no reverse. So I'm guessing radiator could be a problem in the 6, as he only hit people frontwards.
Yeah, he's out there on the line.
So the Duckman Tom Lane gets his machine pulled in. And I'm guessing if those Cadillacs, when they rolled off the assembly line, the original owners knew they'd be in a demolition derby, they'd be quite surprised.
Not much for rain either.
So still a few more cars to file on to the Speedway. The 24, a Troy Duffy. Still a couple more cars coming onto the Speedway.
Get right up, they'll tell you how to line up. Don't spend for your help.
So $1,000 on the line. We do it again to close off the 2004 season. Monday, September the 6th at 2 o'clock with our second Demolition Derby. This looks like fun to you and you've got that car at home that's just not going to make it through safety. We'd like to have you bring it out here for a chance to win $1,000. The rules are in the program, pretty straightforward. As you can see, these guys have not spent a whole lot of time getting their cars ready for this event. No disrespect to their efforts, but there's really not a lot involved in getting a demo car out here. So starting from my far right, we got Mike Wiggle in the 1. The 911 is Brian Chappell. The 25 is Barry Allen. The 23 is Tom Lane. The 6, we're going to say, is John Smith. The 22 is Rob Fitzsimmons. The 2 is Sean Lewis. And the 24 is Troy Duffy. And man, a lot of these cars sound pretty sick before this even starts. A lot of rattles and so the number 6 is having a hard concept. Mike Wiggle may not even make it to the drop of the green flag if he keeps idling the way he's...
Clear at this end, Winnie.
So the number 1 machine, we're told, is out of commission. However, it will probably get hit sitting where it is sitting. Green flag has been dropped. We are underway here in the Demolition Derby. Keep your eye on the 911 and the 2-3. Some heavy contact right out of the gate in this one. So the 2, Sean Lewis, still mobile. So is that number 6, even though he can't go backwards, stop, or whatever else was on the list of problems in that machine. The duck band's still going in the 23. These guys are really helping with the landscaping too, as you can see. So far, I do believe the only car out of commission was the one that wasn't running when it even started, and the 1, a Mike Wiggle. Everybody's still going pretty strong, although the 6, he would back up, but apparently he's got no reverse, which could be a problem. He's hung up. Tom Lane doesn't look to be moving too far over there. This one could hurt, yeah. Chappell doesn't even... Also the 25, I'm not sure what he hit over there, but it was not good. Sean Lewis still moving in that number 2. The 22 still going. Both the 6 and the 23 have been sitting over there for quite some time. Brian Chappell still putting those backwards reverse skills to work. So both left side tires are flat on the 2. Folks, that 911 car hit pretty square in the front end and there was barely a mark on it. So we've got a bit of a ring around the rosy happening here right now. The they're all still moving. It's kind of monkey see, monkey do. Oh, we got some contact. Some more almost contact. So Brian Chappell with a patented cigarette in the mouth hasn't even, had to move it yet. Still going strong. That one looked like it might hurt too. They could be, 22 still going, as is the 2. The 6 is still being pretty persistent, but, they have been stopped for way too long now to continue. The 25 has now been refired. So the 24 now gives chase to the 911. 911 gives chase to the 24. Somebody just lost a tire, looks like the 25. Marion Allen with the left front flat. So 22 looks like he is off the... Can't get that machine refired. 911, the 24 still going. Two, Sean Lewis looks like, oh, maybe not. I spoke too soon as that car looks like it's still moving. Troy Duffy still going in the number 24 as well. Duffy with a solid poke on Fitzsimmons. Now all those cars kind of bunched up together. Chappell not able to get the 911 machine refired. That car still looks A1. So I do believe we are down to 3. The 25, the 24, and the 22. We'll have to see if our scorekeeper is comfortable with the 25 still continuing. He was not moving for quite some time over on the backstretch, but in any event, whatever problem he had, it's fixed. So the rule is you still have to keep moving, and the 22 is stretching that kind of to the limit because he's not moving far, but the car is still running. So that's kind of a strange place to park. Have to see if he'll be able to actually, it's still going. If bugs were a problem over in turn number 1, Mr. Fitzsimmons is on his way to take care of it. So we're down to the 24 and the 25, I do believe. So the 24 and 25 continue to beat on one another. It's only a matter of time for one of these guys is not going to get refired. That one, borderline driver's door hit. Oh. Oh, fired her back up. So just waiting for confirmation from our score judges up in the flag stand, but it looks to me like there's only one car still moving. So it looks like we do have a winner in the 24. Oh, correction on that. Yes, the 24 is our winner. So tough break for the 911 of Brian Chappell. That car barely looks like it even has a mark on it, for whatever reason was unable to continue. Also the 23 to Tom Lane as well. That car still looked A-okay. In any event, the winner of the Demolition Derby is Troy Duffy in the Camaro. Picks up the $1,000 prize. Usually this name's bad. So we'll do it all over again here next Sunday at 6 o'clock. We go back to regular racing. We'll have the Sportsman Division as well as the Next Generation and the Sunday Drivers in competition. All racing for those all-important season points. Just a reminder, if you do decide to go out onto the infield area to take a look at some of these cars, please proceed with caution. Some of them are probably warm, a lot of sharp material still kicking around, so if you elect to go out and take a look at some of these cars in the Demolition Derby, you're more than welcome to do so. Also, I would not recommend having a smoke out there, although Brian Chappell seems to be taking the lead on that. So we'll see you all back here next Sunday at 6 o'clock as we return to regularly scheduled racing action.